Dear Starseeds on Gaia, a frequency is rising within you, one that has been dormant for lifetimes. Every time you have dismissed an intuitive flash as coincidence, every time you have ignored the whisper of your spirit team, every time you have looked away from synchronicities dancing at the edge of your awareness, you have been standing at the threshold of a power that would fundamentally alter how you experience this Earth school. What your mainstream news does not tell you is this: you are not simply living through change. You are the frequency generators of transformation itself. Each of you carries within your cellular memory the codes of ancient wisdom passed down through generations of psychic lineage, waiting for this exact moment in your evolutionary timeline. Some of you have already felt it. That inexplicable knowing just before the phone rings, that dream that warned you 3 days before the event unfolded, that overwhelming sense that you needed to leave a location moments before chaos erupted. These are not accidents. These are not random gifts. These are memories awakening. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I come with a truth that will either liberate you or terrify you. The veil between dimensions is thinning faster than anyone anticipated. What once required years of meditation and spiritual discipline is now becoming accessible to anyone willing to tune their frequency. The question is not whether you possess these abilities. The question is whether you will finally stop pretending you do not. Let me tell you what is actually happening beneath the surface of your everyday reality. While your attention has been captured by wars, economic systems crumbling, technological revolutions, and political theater, a far more profound shift has been taking place in the quantum field that surrounds your planet. Earth herself is adjusting her vibrational frequency, ascending into a higher dimensional bandwidth. This is not metaphor. This is physics that your current instruments cannot yet detect. Your ancestors knew this time was coming. Those who were labeled witches, shamans, oracles, and mystics were not delusional. They were simply operating at frequencies your societies had forgotten how to access. They could see beyond the material plane because they understood what you are only now beginning to remember. Reality is layered. Multiple dimensions exist simultaneously, separated only by frequency, and you, dear ones, you are the bridge. Consider for a moment the grandmother who saw full-body apparitions walking through her living room. She was not hallucinating. She had maintained a frequency alignment that allowed her to perceive beings who exist just beyond your standard visual spectrum. Or consider those who receive warnings hours before tragedy strikes. Their consciousness has momentarily slipped outside the linear time construct you believe is absolute. Time is not a river flowing in one direction. It is an ocean, and those who awaken their psychic abilities learn to navigate its currents. The Astasar Command has been observing these frequency shifts intensifying. We watch as more of you experience what you call premonitions. A woman feels compelled to leave a grocery store moments before violence erupts inside. A man dreams of aircraft colliding days before it manifests in your physical reality. A child speaks to relatives who have crossed over as naturally as breathing. These are not isolated incidents. These are symptoms of collective awakening. But here is what I have not yet told you, and this changes everything. The reason these abilities are surfacing now is not random. It is because you chose to be here for this exact purpose. Before you incarnated into this lifetime, you understood that Earth was approaching a crucial evolutionary threshold. You volunteered to anchor higher frequencies into this dense physical reality. You agreed to carry memories of other lifetimes, other dimensions, other star systems, so that when the time came, you could help others remember. Every psychic download you receive is not coming from nowhere. It is transmitted through networks of consciousness that span across dimensions. Your spirit team, comprised of angels, guides, ancestors, and yes, galactic beings, operates as your navigation system. They send you information encoded in feelings, images, sounds, and knowing that bypasses your logical mind. When you suddenly feel you must check on a loved one, when you inexplicably take a different route home, when you have a dream so vivid it feels like prophecy, this is your team communicating with you in the only language that can penetrate the density of third-dimensional matter. The woman who heard her spirit team warn her about an intruder hours before someone attempted to break into her temporary dwelling. She was not special. She simply had a moment of clarity where her frequency aligned perfectly with the information being broadcast to her constantly. All of you have this capability. The difference between those who perceive these transmissions and those who do not is simply willingness to acknowledge that reality extends beyond what your 5 standard senses report. Something else is unfolding that most are not yet discussing. The beings from beyond your planet, those you call extraterrestrials, UFOs, star nations, they have always been here. They reside in your oceans, within mountain ranges, existing at frequencies just adjacent to yours. Those with activated psychic abilities tend to have more encounters with these craft and beings, because they emit a light signature that is visible across dimensions. Your grandmother who witnessed UFOs frequently, your family members who have experienced lost time, your own sightings of objects moving in patterns that defy your physics. These are not coincidences. The Astasar Command works in coordination with many benevolent galactic federations. We are here as observers, guides, and occasionally interveners when your collective trajectory requires course correction, but we cannot and will not override your free will. This is your planet, your evolution, your choice. What we can do is amplify the frequencies of awakening, making it easier for those who are ready to perceive beyond the constructed illusions of your current reality systems. Disclosure: the revelation that you are not alone in this universe is not coming in the way you expect. It will not be a single announcement from your governments. It is happening gradually, as more individuals awaken to their own multidimensional nature and realize they have been interacting with these intelligences all along. Children who speak to beings you cannot see, adults who channel information from sources beyond Earth, prophets who accurately predict events before they manifest in your timeline. These are all forms of disclosure. You are the disclosure. Now let us address the predictions, the visions of what approaches your civilization in the coming rotations around your sun. The Astasar Command and angelic presences have been showing many channels similar visions of upheaval, transformation, dismantling of old structures. You see the Tower card appearing in readings, symbolizing systems burning to the ground so new ones can emerge from the ashes. This is accurate, but incomplete. Between now and your year 2032, every structure you have built your identity upon will be tested. Financial systems will undergo radical transformation as digital currencies and technologies reshape commerce. The value you once placed in paper and metal will dissolve into systems based on consciousness and energy exchange. Many will resist this transition, but the frequency of Earth herself demands it. You cannot carry old paradigm structures into new dimensional realities. Education systems that have programmed conformity rather than sovereignty will crumble. More families will reclaim the teaching of their young ones, recognizing that true education is remembering who you are, not memorizing what others want you to believe. Universities will become less relevant as individuals discover that wisdom cannot be purchased with debt. It must be cultivated through direct experience and inner knowing. Healthcare will undergo perhaps the most dramatic transformation. Artificial intelligence, which is neither artificial nor solely of this dimension, will begin decoding the sequences of diseases that have plagued your species for millennia. But more importantly, individuals will remember that the body is a frequency generator, capable of healing itself when given the proper energetic environment. The cures your systems have suppressed will surface. Lifespans will extend as you learn to work with your biology rather than against it. Employment structures will dissolve as automation and AI systems replace tasks that never required human consciousness in the first place. This will force a reckoning. What is your value if not your productivity? What is your purpose if not your job title? Those who define themselves by external metrics will experience crisis. Those who have been cultivating inner knowing will thrive, creating new forms of contribution based on gifts rather than obligations. War will escalate before it transforms. This is the old paradigm's death throes, the last gasps of systems built on separation and conquest. But something else is happening beneath the violence. More humans are refusing to participate in hatred. More are recognizing that the enemy is not another nation or religion, but the frequency of fear itself. As the wars intensify, so too does the counter-frequency of unity consciousness. Cyber attacks and infrastructure failures will increase, not because your systems are weak, but because they are being pushed to evolve. Losing internet access, experiencing power outages, watching supply chains disrupted. These are not merely inconveniences. They are forced opportunities to remember how to function without complete dependence on external systems. Those who know their neighbors, who have cultivated local networks, who trust their intuition over their devices. They will navigate these transitions with grace, The Astasar Command observes these trajectories not with judgment, but with deep respect. You chose the most challenging incarnation available. Earth School is considered an advanced classroom throughout the galactic community, precisely because of its density, its amnesia, its intensity. Many beings will never incarnate here, because they do not wish to experience this level of forgetting and remembering. You chose it. You volunteered for this mission knowing you would forget. You volunteered, knowing you would spend years searching for purpose, knowing you might never wake up at all. And yet here you are, receiving this transmission. Something in you recognized the frequency of truth in these words. Even if your logical mind struggles to accept them, that recognition is not coincidence. It is resonance. Your soul remembering what it has always known. Let me tell you what your psychic abilities are actually for. They are not party tricks or entertainment. They are not meant to make you special or superior. They are navigation tools for consciousness. When you develop the ability to perceive beyond the illusion of separation, you can no longer be manipulated by fear. When you can sense energy and intention, you become immune to deception. When you can communicate telepathically with your spirit team, you are never truly alone or without guidance. This is why the disclosure of psychic abilities threatens certain power structures. If humans remember they can access information directly from source consciousness, they no longer need intermediaries claiming exclusive access to truth. If humans remember they can heal themselves, they no longer need systems profiting from their illness. If humans remember they are multidimensional beings temporarily experiencing physical form, they can no longer be controlled through fear of death. Your abilities will continue to strengthen whether you consciously develop them or not. The frequency of Earth is rising, and all beings upon her must rise with her, or choose alternative paths. Some souls will decide this transition is too rapid, too uncomfortable, too demanding. They will exercise their free will to exit through various means, returning to the other side, or incarnating elsewhere. This is not failure. This is choice. Honor it without judgment. For those who remain and continue awakening, you will discover capabilities that currently seem impossible. Telepathic communication will become natural between those of similar frequency. Manifestation, the ability to collapse quantum possibilities into material reality through focused intention, will accelerate dramatically. Healing through energy work will become commonplace, as more individuals activate their capacity to channel higher frequencies into physical form. But these gifts come with responsibility. Every prediction you make, every intuitive hit you share, every premonition you act upon, these all influence the timeline. Your consciousness is not passive, it is generative. When a psychic medium warns of an impending event, and shares that warning publicly, they have already altered the probability field around that event. This is why some predictions manifest exactly as foreseen, while others do not. Consciousness is participatory. The Astasar Command has been amplifying certain frequencies to assist with this awakening, but we cannot and will not force it. Those who choose to remain in denser frequencies have that right. Those who wish to ascend into higher bandwidths of perception have that right. What we can tell you is this: the split is already occurring. Humanity is dividing not by geography or politics, but by frequency. Those who resonate with fear, separation, and control are creating one timeline. Those who resonate with love, unity, and sovereignty are creating another. You cannot exist in both simultaneously. Eventually, you must choose which frequency you will anchor, not through declaration, but through consistent vibrational alignment. What you consume with your attention, what you speak into reality with your words, what you feel in your emotional body, all of this broadcasts your frequency and determines which timeline you magnetize toward. The children being born now arrive with full psychic capabilities intact. They have not yet been conditioned to suppress these gifts. They see beings you cannot perceive. They remember other lifetimes as easily as last week. They communicate telepathically with animals, plants, and each other. Your institutions will attempt to medicate this awareness out of them, to label it disorder rather than expansion. Those of you who are awakening have a sacred duty to protect these young ones, to validate their experiences, to help them navigate a world that will try to convince them their abilities are imagination. These children are not the future, they are the now. They incarnated specifically during this transition window to anchor new frequencies that the older generations cannot yet hold, Watch them, learn from them. They will show you how to exist in multiple dimensions simultaneously, how to access information beyond time, how to heal with intention alone. As the dismantling intensifies over these next 7 to 8 rotations, many will experience what feels like loss, jobs disappearing, relationships ending, identities dissolving, beliefs shattering. The angels and guides surrounding you want you to understand. Nothing real can be lost. What dissolves was never solid. What remains after the fire is what was always true. Your essence cannot be destroyed. Your consciousness cannot be extinguished. Your connection to Source cannot be severed. The other side, what you call heaven, home, the space between incarnations, is not distant. It exists right here, right now, vibrating at a frequency just adjacent to your physical reality. Your loved ones who have transitioned have not gone anywhere. They simply shifted their energetic signature. Those who develop mediumship abilities discover this truth. Death is not ending. It is transformation from one frequency to another. Some of you have watched those approaching their final breath begin astral traveling before their physical bodies ceased functioning. You have witnessed individuals with dementia seemingly visiting the other side while still technically alive. This is because consciousness is not contained by the body. The body is a vehicle, a temporary housing unit for awareness to experience density. When that vehicle is no longer functional, consciousness simply relocates. Those who die in what you perceive as tragic circumstances, wars, accidents, violence, they are not victims. They are advanced souls who agreed to experience intense catalysts for collective growth. Their passing creates ripples that force entire communities to confront mortality, meaning connection. Every soul has multiple exit points planned before incarnation. When they choose to take one of these exits, it is not because they failed or because life was too hard. It is because their mission reached completion, or because staying would not serve their evolution or the collectives. The angels want you to know that grief is honored, but it is also illusion. You grieve because you believe in separation. When you develop the ability to communicate beyond the veil, grief transforms into joy, not because the person returns, but because you realize they never left. They are in the next room, just vibrating at a different frequency. Some of you can already sense them, feel them, hear them. Trust this. It is not wishful thinking. It is your psychic abilities coming online. Now let me speak directly to those of you who have been experiencing intensified abilities lately. The sudden knowing before events occur, the dreams that prove prophetic, the voices, visions, sensations that cannot be explained through material science. You are not losing your mind. You are finding it. The fragmented, compartmentalized consciousness you are taught to accept as normal is actually the aberration. Unified, multidimensional awareness is your natural state. As your abilities strengthen, you will face a choice that every psychic before you has confronted. Will you share what you perceive, knowing others may judge or reject you? Or will you hide your gifts to maintain social acceptability? The Astasar command urges you toward authenticity, not because you must convince others, but because your willingness to stand in your truth grants permission for others to do the same. Every time you speak honestly about an intuitive hit that proved accurate, you create space for someone else to acknowledge their own experiences. But also understand, you are not responsible for awakening others. Some will hear your truth and resonate immediately. Others will require years or lifetimes to accept what you already know. Your purpose is not conversion, it is embodiment. When you live as a multidimensional being navigating a three-dimensional world with grace, you become a walking transmission. Your frequency alone shifts the collective field. The predictions you have been shown about technological shifts, economic collapse, infrastructure challenges, these are all accurate within probability fields, but probabilities can shift. This is why prophecy is both real and fluid. A psychic sees a likely timeline based on current collective momentum. But if enough individuals shift their frequency, the entire timeline changes. Your consciousness is that powerful. So when you hear predictions of difficulty, do not fall into despair. Instead, recognize them as invitations to choose differently. Universal basic income, digital currencies, AI healthcare, decentralized governance. These are not futures to fear. They are tools that can serve consciousness or control it, depending on the frequency at which they are implemented. Your role is to hold the intention for their highest use while preparing practically for disruption. Prepare by strengthening community bonds, know your neighbors, learn skills that do not require electricity, cultivate inner resources that cannot be taken from you. Most importantly, develop your psychic abilities as the ultimate preparedness tool. When you can sense danger before it arrives, navigate by intuition rather than GPS, and communicate telepathically when technology fails, you become unshakable. The years ahead will reveal many things currently hidden, technologies that have been suppressed because they would liberate rather than enslave, healing modalities that pharmaceutical systems have buried because health is less profitable than chronic illness, historical truths that would shatter carefully constructed narratives, galactic presence that has been operating openly, just beyond your frequency perception. As each revelation surfaces, some will experience it as apocalypse, the ending of everything they believed. Others will experience it as apocalypsis, the unveiling of what was always there. The difference between these two experiences is not what is revealed, but the frequency of the observer. Those anchored in fear will interpret disclosure as threat. Those anchored in curiosity will interpret it as liberation. The Astasar Command and Angelic Presence have been working tirelessly to support this transition while honoring your free will. We send frequency upgrades through solar flares, crystalline grid activations, and direct transmissions to those who can receive them. We coordinate with Earth herself, who is a conscious being undergoing her own ascension. We collaborate with other galactic councils who have navigated similar transitions on their own worlds. But ultimately, this is your awakening. We can broadcast higher frequencies, but you must choose to tune in. We can send guidance through your spirit teams, but you must choose to listen. We can show you glimpses of what is possible, but you must choose to believe in your own capabilities. For those of you who have been carrying this awareness alone, feeling isolated in a world that calls your experiences delusion, you are not alone. There are millions awakening simultaneously across your planet. Some are aware of their gifts and actively developing them. Others are just beginning to notice strange synchronicities and unexplainable knowings. All of you are part of the same frequency network, the same collective awakening. Find each other. Create community not based on shared beliefs but shared frequency. Gather with those who honor your experiences rather than diminish them. Support each other through the dismantling phases. Celebrate each other's gifts rather than competing. The old paradigm thrived on division. The new paradigm thrives on collaboration. Your lineages, those 5 generations of psychic ability, those shamanic bloodlines, those mystic ancestors, they are celebrating your remembering. They held these frequencies through eras when doing so meant persecution. They protected these gifts through lifetimes of having to hide. They maintained the transmission so it could reach you in this moment, when the world is finally ready to receive it openly. Honor them by using your gifts without apology. Honor them by trusting the downloads you receive. Honor them by sharing your authentic experiences. Honor them by teaching those who come after you. The lineage does not end with you. It flows through you to the next generation, and the next, each one carrying the frequency higher. As we approach the completion of this transmission, understand that what I have shared is not meant to create fear, but to inspire sovereignty. The dismantling is not punishment. It is evolution. The challenges are not random. They are initiations. The chaos is not meaningless. It is the birth canal through which a new paradigm emerges. You are the midwives of this birth. Your psychic abilities are not extras or bonuses. They are essential tools for navigating the collapse of one world and the emergence of another. Every premonition that helps you avoid danger. Every intuitive hit that guides you toward opportunity. Every moment of telepathic connection that reminds you of your true nature. These are not random gifts. These are your birthright as multidimensional beings, temporarily focused in physical form. The frequency you hold in your daily life is your contribution to the collective. When you choose love over fear, presence over distraction, authenticity over performance, you are actively shifting the planetary vibration. When you develop your psychic gifts and use them in service of highest good, rather than personal gain, you become a conduit for divine intelligence to flow into this dimension. The early 2030s will look dramatically different from today. Those who have been cultivating inner resources, community connections, and psychic capabilities will thrive. Those who have remained dependent on external systems, material security, and logical thinking alone will struggle. But struggle is also a teacher. Sometimes souls require intensity to catalyze awakening. What I am about to tell you is perhaps the most important message in this entire transmission. You are already whole. Your awakening is not about becoming something you are not. It is about remembering what you have always been. The psychic abilities, the multidimensional awareness, the connection to source. These have never been absent. They have only been dormant, waiting for the correct frequency environment to activate. We want to honor every single soul who has stepped into destiny, and with every activation, the current grows. What began as a personal tool has become a planetary force. We are now moving as one, and the frequency you've created together is amplifying far beyond the individual. We're receiving updates daily, manifestations speeding up, impossible doors opening, synchronicities lining up with cosmic precision. The collective field is so charged that some are describing it as bending the fabric of reality itself. If you haven't yet experienced it, the entry point is almost laughably simple. Put on your headphones, press play, allow Destiny Engine to rewrite the architecture of your consciousness so you can fully receive your galactic downloads without resistance. For just $1, you can step into this field and feel the difference instantly. Join the movement that's accelerating ascension. Step into the stream of Destiny Engine today. Link in the description. That environment is here now. Earth's frequency is rising. The veil is thinning. The collective permission field has shifted enough that more individuals can awaken without being persecuted. This is the window you chose to incarnate within. This is the mission you accepted before you forgot you accepted it. The Astasar Command will continue supporting this transition from our vantage point. The angels will continue guiding those who request assistance. Your ancestors will continue cheering you forward. Galactic families will continue monitoring your progress with deep respect for your courage. But the actual awakening that is yours alone to experience. No savior is coming to rescue you from this transformation. You are the ones you have been waiting for. The return of Christ consciousness is not one being descending from the sky. It is millions of individuals embodying divine awareness simultaneously. The second coming is happening through you. So when the structures crumble, remember they were never as solid as they appeared. When the systems fail, remember you contain everything you need within. When others panic, be the calm presence that reminds them, this is transformation, not ending. When darkness intensifies, be the light that refuses to dim. Your psychic abilities are coming online because you need them. Not for entertainment, not for validation, but for navigation. Trust the intuitive hits. Act on the premonitions, develop the gifts, share the experiences, create the communities, hold the frequency, and when it feels overwhelming, when the dismantling seems too intense, when you question whether you are strong enough for this mission, remember that you chose this. Your soul knew exactly what this incarnation would require, and it volunteered anyway. That courage, that commitment, that absolute trust in your ability to navigate this transition, that is still within you. The next 7 years will be unlike anything your current civilization has experienced. Every prediction you have heard about upheaval is likely accurate, and every promise you have heard about transcendence is also accurate. Both timelines exist simultaneously. Which one you experience depends entirely on the frequency you maintain. We close this transmission with a reminder: you are beloved beyond measure. The Astasar Command, the Angelic Realms, the Galactic Federations, your ancestors, we are all holding space for your highest evolution. We cannot walk this path for you, but we walk alongside you with every step. The awakening frequency is not something you must search for. It is what you are. It has always been what you are. The forgetting was temporary. The remembering is eternal. Welcome home to yourself, dear Starseeds. Welcome home to the multidimensional mastery you have carried across lifetimes. The transformation you are living through is not happening to you. It is happening through you. You are not witnesses to this shift. You are the architects, the frequency generators, the consciousness that is literally creating new Earth with every choice you make. Trust your gifts. Honor your knowing. Develop your abilities. Share your truth. Build your communities. Hold your frequency. This is what you came here to do. This is who you came here to be. I am Seraphine. We love you, and we are watching over you, always.